Hey, welcome back to the KB Money Show. It's your boy KB with episode 6. As you can tell, I'm solo dolo today. My co-host, he's in the middle of packing and planning. They're getting ready to go to Mauritius for a month. So must be nice. And so sure he'll be back next week. Keanu will be back next week. Hey, but guess what? The show must go on. Got to keep you guys up to date, abreast of what's going on, and so that's what we're gonna do. And I have a show, a full show for you today. Super excited to get into some of the topics, and just I'm gonna add my comments. I'm gonna react, do what we do, and hopefully this brings you up to speed. Because I know when you're working your 9 to 5, doing your thing, you don't have time to stay up to date with some of these things, and so that's why I'm here. And it always ties back to the money. That's my goal. So that's what we're gonna do here. Without further ado, my week was great. I'm cool in a great place, getting ready to go on vacation myself. But guess what? We still gonna record these shows, and we still gonna bring the information to the people. So if you this is your first time tuning in, look forward to you staying with us and learning with us and growing with us. We're building a awesome community here of like-minded individuals that you care about your money, and ultimately we want to help you become the best version of yourself and build your net worth $1 at a time. Okay, so the first topic of today is what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do a quick screen share, and we're gonna cover these Walmart layoffs, man. We're gonna talk about it. So Walmart to cut jobs at headquarters and relocate others. So what does that mean? Well, on Tuesday, uh, Walmart announced that it plans to cut hundreds of jobs at its corporate headquarters and relocate a majority of U.S. and Canada-based remote workforce to 3 offices. A shift in strategy after initially endorsing virtual work during the pandemic. Ooh, that's tough. Sounds like Walmart is reneging on their word. They say, "Oh, you're gonna get in this office today." Y'all looking, I don't have any those reaction sounds or anything, because I would definitely be pushing them buttons. So that's gonna come soon. Just not right now, but I'll be pressing those buttons right now because they say, "Oh no, we changing strategy. Y'all about to get in this office today." Dang, that's tough. You been working remote in a low cost area, or just wherever you want to be, and they say, "Hey, not no more. It's a new day, new strategy." All right. So what they tell us? What they tell you? Let's learn about it. We are asking the majority of associates working remotely and the majority of associates within our offices in Dallas, Atlanta, and our Toronto Global Tech office to relocate. Donna Morris, the Walmart's chief people officer, wrote in a memo. Okay. Okay, Don. The world's largest retailer and the country's largest private employer, that's a fact. We knew that already. With 2.1 million workers, or if you didn't know, now you know, as they say, workers globally, say most of the relocations will be to its headquarters in Bentonville, Arkansas. Sheesh. While some will move to its offices in the San Francisco Bay Area or Hoboken, New Jersey. Interesting. The goal of the move, well, before I go there, so when I'm thinking about those different locations, if I'm a Walmart employee, first thing I'm thinking about, I'm pulling out that cost of living calculator and the way my salary is set up and the way the cost of living is set up. Let me evaluate if that makes sense. Because if you're going to San Fran and your comp, it don't make sense for your comp, man, that cost of living you're gonna get crushed with that cost of living, and you're gonna be check to check unless you get your money up. All right, so that's okay. All right, so let's continue on with the story. Add my commentary here. All right, so the goal of the move was to bring more people together to strengthen Walmart's culture and develop the careers of its employees, Morris said in a memo. All right, I hear you. The retail giant also said it was reducing several hundred roles in its headquarters due to changes in some parts of its business. Without elaborating further, like, hey, we don't owe you no more detail than that. You're gonna have to wait for the earnings. You're gonna have to wait for earnings to come out. On a business update call with employees on Monday, remote workers were given until July 1st. Well, okay. Well, I mean, July 1st, it's May. All right, got a little bit of time to make a decision about relocating or to quit with severance, according to a source familiar with the matter who spoke on condition of anonymity. They like, I ain't about to mess up my job. Smart, smart. The source added that Walmart will be closing its Dallas, Atlanta, Toronto offices later this year. All right. Business change, it happens. All right, so let's talk about what that severance pay is going to look like. So those who choose to leave would receive 2 weeks pay for every year they worked at Walmart as severance. Who knew loyalty would have came into play in this scenario? Because these days, folks not loyal. But hey, but I'll be honest, sometimes the company ain't loyal to you. So hey, you got to do what's best for you. But in this case, they say you're going to get 2 weeks for every year that you work. Okay, interesting. All right. Walmart said it had discussions with employees who were directly affected and that it would work with them on the next steps forward. New normal, we're going to see. Like other U.S. companies, they talking about remote work. Walmart is shifting its strategy towards more in-person work after years of pandemic-induced remote working. At one point, it even endorsed remote work as a new norm. Yes, it did. And it was a crazy war on talent during that time period too, where they had to be competitive with the remote options that were out there. But definitely seeing that shift for sure. It's hey, you today, you'll see job postings and it's like you can be remote, but must be local. But then that ain't remote. Or so it's almost like catch like is they clickbaiting, and then there's and if you continue, if you read somewhere in that job description, you're starting to see more and more where it's like, oh, y'all not remote at all. Okay, I see. I happen to have a balanced approach, but in terms of thoughts, but I see the benefit of both. In the meantime, Walmart is constructing a new headquarters in Northwest Arkansas. They're trying to get people back in that office because they about to create a 350-acre campus with 15,000, with the capacity to hold 15,000 employees across 12 buildings. And so that's what they're trying to get folks in that office for that 15,000 uh, employee campus that they're getting ready to, with a capacity to hold 15,000. That's what they got going on. This is likely just part of a broader push towards operational efficiency. When you hear those words, you should perk up when you're hearing those things. Layoffs, operational efficiencies, restructuring, all these little terms that they use. Yeah, they getting rid of you. The redundancy. The mandate that remote workers report into the office is the closest way to get people to quit instead of doing a layoff. That's true. Chief economist at Annex Wealth Management, which holds Walmart and mutual funds and ETFs as it manages. Okay. Giving people a choice to relocate to a hub isn't much of a choice. No, it's not. Not if you have roots in a certain area. Then you're just gonna move to middle of nowhere, Arkansas. Sheesh. It's more of a choice of whether to quit or not. The retailer is set to report first quarter. Now we getting somewhere. Results on Thursday. Okay, Walmart shares were down 1% in afternoon trading on Tuesday. Okay, yeah, it's always the most always it always ties back to the money. But that's the updates as it relates to the Walmart layoff. They said, hey, you have to July 1st to get in that office or find another job. My recommendation would be if you're presented that and you're not going to move, you need to be looking for a new job ASAP, like immediately. So by the time the severance happens, it could be a potential smooth transition. It's never fun draining that emergency fund or seeing your resources drain just because of being unemployed for extended period of time, hey, unemployment don't pay the bills. You only get a portion of your income. So anytime that you can turn a severance into a bonus because you don't have a skip in income, it's always a good thing. And then of course, multiple streams of income, exploring that route as well. Because like last week, the employee that from Google that strategically would have financial independence on his mind the entire time. So when he got laid off from Google, he was ready. And so, unfortunately, if you're working long enough, sometimes you may be a part of the layoffs or the restructurings, or you're faced with having to make these type of decisions, and so hey, see if you can turn what looks like lemons into lemonade, you know what I'm saying, by getting landed at another position. Sorry it's happening to the folks out there. But hey, it all comes down to the money. You see they got earnings coming up. You see what it is.